Hey, in today's Leader Feeder, we're going to look at the top 5 employee excuses for performance and behavior issues, and I'm going to share with you a surefire formula for handling employee excuses when they do come up. You know, when a leader addresses a behavior or performance problem, the team member might offer up some excuses to deflect responsibility. It's important for the leader that you can tell the difference between what is a justifiable reason and what's an excuse. A reason will tend to pinpoint accountability, whereas an excuse deflects responsibility. So the formula for handling an excuse is to first acknowledge it, then reframe or refocus on the problem and solution, and finally get a commitment to take the desired action. So let's look at the 5 most common excuses and how to handle them. First excuse.
I'm not the only one. Others do it too. You're picking on me. You're harassing me.
Boy, that last one gets everyone agitated, doesn't it? Well, first of all, recognize that this is an admission of guilt. If I'm telling you other people do it too, that means I'm doing it. And the leader needs to keep the focus on the individual and avoid making any comments about other employees and what you may or may not do or say to them. So the way you'd handle that is, I realize that you might not be the only one. It's your behavior I observed, and what I need you to do is to spend a little less time socializing and more time focused on the work. Can I count on you to do that? The second most common excuse that employees will make for their behavior and performance is,
Hey, I didn't know. Nobody told me.
This is your opportunity, of course, to clarify your expectations. I realize that you might not have been told specifically about the task, but this task is a part of your regular job and you've performed it many times in the past. So can I count on you to make sure you complete that task next time without being told? All right, top excuse number 3.
Hey, I wasn't trained.
This, in fact, could be true, which would indicate that you would offer more retraining. But if the leader knows that the employee is trained and has performed the job before, you could say, hey, I hear what you say that you weren't trained, but we both know that you're trained and you've performed the task many times in the past. So can I count on you to perform the task correctly going forward? And excuse number 4.
Hey, it's not my fault.
Again, you would respond by saying, I realize you don't think it's your fault, and yet this is your job responsibility. So next time, can I count on you to take responsibility for the task? And the last excuse we're going to handle today is,
What? I was too busy.
and your response would be, I realize that you've got a lot on your plate, and yet this is a task that's important and needs to get completed. So can I count on you to make sure that you have time to get this done in the future? So remember the formula. Acknowledge the excuse by repeating it, then reframe or refocus on the problem and solution, and finally ask for the commitment. Once your confidence increases, you won't find it a challenge to handle excuses from your team members. Handling employee excuses is just one part of the leadership responsibility, and I hope that you'll tap into many of our other resources at frontlineleadership.com.